Hello everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. I cracked up when I got this email. I love getting requests from you guys. It challenges me. I can't get to all of them, but this one really made me smile. She said, and it's Marilyn or Marilyn, I don't know, but the way it's spelled, I'm just going to say Marilyn. Linda, could you please show how to make easy fall Thanksgiving cards when someone does not have Thanksgiving stamps? P.S. And don't just use fall papers because I do not have those either. I love this email. So we are going to put the new color coach to the test and help Mary Lynn out with some easy fall cards when you need to get them sent out because Thanksgiving is coming up for those of us here in the States. And I'll show you some options, and then I want to put the color coach to the test. This is that new tool that came out recently, $12.50. They gave us one free at an event last year, and we all said, please sell them because they're such great tools. And you may have one from decades ago. It might have been 10 or 15 years ago, Stampin' Up! Had one with all the old colors on it. It's a great tool because it pushes your color combinations so you're not just doing the same thing over and over again. So I will show you how to use this. But first, Mary Lynn. This is an example of traditional fall colors. You've got Cajun Craze, I've got crushed curry and old olive, no designer paper, and I used a non-traditional fall set. So this one is Heartfelt Hexagon, and I would encourage you to look through stamp sets that you already have and look for those little itty bitty things. There's usually a leaf of some kind. Especially if you have flowers, there's always leaves. And this little guy right here, I just stamped up the card. And then these are 1/4 inch strips, and I laid it down, it went across, and then I added this right here, this sentiment, sending you lots of love and hugs. Because it doesn't say Happy Thanksgiving doesn't mean this isn't a fall Thanksgiving card. It's the colors, it's the sentiment, and I guarantee if you send this out and write Happy Thanksgiving on the inside, they're going to be just as happy, and it'll be fine. So now on this particular one, I said, well, let's push the color coach a little bit and see what we could come up with that still is fall, but maybe something out of the box. So I started with, let's see. Oh, by the way, this is in the catalog. There's a picture of this in the catalog, but when you have it in your hand and you can move this around, this is where the tool comes in really handy. So I wanted my card base to be Cajun Craze. So I'm gonna line this line up here on Cajun Craze. And then I'm gonna look at the Triadic. So on the back, the Triadic color says, craft with colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel to go beyond your normal things for something unexpected, right? So it's definitely unexpected because it's Cajun Craze, Highland Heather, and it's sort of borders on Mossy Meadow and Soft Seafoam. So it's kind of like right there in the middle. So I chose to do Highland Heather, Cajun Craze, and Mossy Meadow. And I wasn't sure how it would come out, but actually, it's not bad. I kind of like it. So I did the same thing here. I would have done the weaving on it, though, if I chose to do it again, because it's a little bulky here. I would have done this technique. But I started out with gold, a gold strip, and gold foil, and the Mossy Meadow. And then I put a little skinny piece of the Highland Heather right here. I did the gold embossing for the leaves. And then I did Highland Heather on the frame, you know, punched out the sentiment from the same set. And then added a little Highland Heather U right there to kind of pull all of that in together. And okay, that's interesting. I never, ever, ever would have put those together, but I kind of like it. Traditional, non-traditional. And then also, you can take a stamp set that's a floral, and then you can just color it in fall colors. And I say, this is a great fall Thanksgiving card. So this particular color combination is blackberry, old olive, and pumpkin pie, and a little bit of Cajun Craze in there. And pecan pie down here. And I just use that arch die, and everything is die cut And it's a fall card. It doesn't say Happy Thanksgiving. You can say that on here, but it says fall. All right, now for this next card, again, Mary Lynn, no designer paper, and it'll be fall, but let's try to push something, let's try to use something that I don't use very often. I have a ton of Gorgeous Grape cardstock. I don't know why, I just don't use it that much. Guess I'm not a purple girl, but I don't use it that much. So I said, well, let's see what happens when you do Gorgeous Grape, and we do a Triadic again, Gorgeous Grape, Pumpkin Pie, and Garden Green, which to me is almost a little Halloween-y, especially the orange and the purple. But I decided to add a little gold in there. So this is a 1-inch strip of Garden Green layered across a piece of crumb cake. I added the gold in here again because I love adding the gold foil. Now, you could also put the white in between here just to break up the two colors next to each other, but then it looks like a sports team card. So it just, to me, the gold, you know, makes it more fall. So I've got a little piece of pumpkin, gold, Garden Green, gold, and then the Gorgeous Grape on a Gorgeous Grape card. I splattered a little bit of Garden Green up here. Then we're going to take a leaf. This is from that gorgeous bundle that I love. I think it's called Layering Leaves. I love it. It has the hybrid folder. So I did some designer paper, and then I just went over it with some Versamark and dipped it in gold powder and heated it. Put those on with some dimensionals. And this little sentiment right here, I embossed in white. So I'll put this down here. So emboss that in white. And that saying is from Layers of Beauty. There happens to be a grateful for you. You're going to find a lot of grateful in the Stampin' Up! Sets. Thinking of you works great for Thanksgiving also. So that is grateful for you. I can add a little bit of gold cord, and then just to make that purple repeat 3 times, I can add some embellishments. So this is some of that pretty gold twine that came out with the online exclusives. I love twine, baker's twine, any kind of twine. This is, I just have it doubled. I could just put that here, put that down here. I kind of think about where that's going to go. Let me see if I can just do a little one right here so it doesn't overpower the card. But it's totally unexpected. I would never have put these together. Maybe for Halloween, maybe the green or the purple and the orange, but you know, it helps. This Color Coach helps you stretch beyond what you would normally do. Especially if you're like me and you've got a lot of a particular color left, and this kind of helps you use it. So watch what happens when you add some of the purple embellishments, because that is going to totally change by bringing in the purple one more place. Let's do one up here and maybe do one down here. Okay, not anything I would normally do, but again, it really helps you stretch. All right, now here's another one. This one is the same layout as this card right here, which, yes, is all designer paper. That was a good one. You know, if you want to get your cards done fast, that 4-inch by 5 1/4 panel of designer paper, boom, add your sentiment, so easy. But I thought, let's do this layout, but in an unexpected color combo for Christmas or the holidays. So I went with a complementary one this time. So if you look on the back, pairing colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel to create a fun, bold contrast. So I sort of just went around my complementary until I found something that I kind of liked, and it was this one right here. So it's blackberry, here you can see this way, blackberry, berry burst, and freesia. So I ended up doing those. And again, no designer paper from Mary Lynn. So I did a blackberry card and a layer of berry burst on the front. And then I cut a bunch of circles from, these are from Spotlight on Nature, which I love this die set because they're all different circles that layer, but they have different designs in them. So I'm just gonna layer these around a little bit is my plan, to just put them up and around like this. So just fun circles. Up here, let's do this one. And remember the sentiment is gonna go here, so we have to space it out a little bit. In my head, it's gonna be great, but I haven't put it together yet. A little silver peeking out on this side, like that. There. Now, this banner just barely fits this sentiment. This is from Greetings of the Season. It's this big one right here. It's really tight right there, but it fits. And then to add that color right at the top, I glued those together with a big dimensional there. And we're gonna add silver ribbon up at the top to tie the silvers in, like this. Actually, what I'll do, I'm just gonna push that down here, bring it around, push it down on my dimensional, and then cover that. That's why I love those dimensional sheets. But we'll use regular dimensionals down here. So just by doing that, and then we'll add the silver bling. And so the color palette of the freesia, the blackberry, and the silver with a little bit of berry burst, I think is gonna be pretty. We'll see, let's give it a try. And there's another little snippet up at the top just to do our knot. If you're worried that it doesn't stay, you can always add a little glue dot underneath it. There we go. Move that one up here a little bit for spacing. And then, of course, the bling that ties it all together. Kind of spreading that around because it's fun and it's festive. I wouldn't normally have put those together right off the bat, but it was kind of nice to just reach in for my scraps and grab something like that. So we've got complementary, triadic, monochromatic, which is pretty much, you know, all colors, like all the same greens together, all the same blues, monochromatic, triadic. So it gives you all of the definitions down here of what it is. So I recommend it. I think it's a great tool. I think it's $12.50. Yeah, so it gives all of the core colors. So it's a really good way, and they're very true. If you look at these, I mean, they're spot on. The colors are spot on. So it's a really nice way to see all of our colors at once. So that's it for me today. Mary Lynn, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for challenging me and challenging the color wheel. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.